You are the master of your fate. Let's begin. Listen closely. If you've ever observed the extraordinary achievements of the top 1%, those individuals who seem to effortlessly command wealth, influence, and fulfillment, you might be tempted to attribute their success to sheer luck, a privileged background, an inherent genius, or an exclusive network. While these factors can play a role, I tell you, they are rarely the defining difference. The true secret, the non-negotiable starting point for every genuine, lasting achievement among the elite, is something far more profound and entirely within your control: definiteness of purpose. Many people operate through life with vague desires. They wish for more money, to be happy, or to succeed. These are amorphous aspirations, like trying to hit a target you cannot see. Such ambiguity is the silent killer of potential, leading to wasted effort, diluted energy, and a life lived by default rather than by design. The top 1% do not merely wish, they command. They do not merely hope, they declare. Their minds are laser-focused instruments, directed by a singular, burning objective that defines their every action. A definiteness of purpose is not merely a goal. It is a clear, specific, and unwavering objective, backed by a burning desire for its attainment. It is the precise knowledge of what you want, combined with an intense passion to achieve it. It acts as a powerful magnetic force, attracting the necessary resources, ideas, and people to your cause. Here's how the top 1% cultivate and leverage this foundational principle. 1. Crystal clarity and specificity. How? They don't just want to be rich. They define exactly how much money they intend to acquire, by what date, and what service or value they intend to give in return. They define their desired outcome with surgical precision. Why it works: the subconscious mind, and indeed the universe itself, cannot work with ambiguity. A specific target provides a clear directive for all your faculties and for the forces that conspire to aid you. 2. The burning desire, emotionalized purpose. How? Their definite purpose is not merely an intellectual concept. It is imbued with intense, emotional desire. They can feel the reality of their achievement before it manifests. Why it works: emotion is the fuel of thought. A cold, logical goal generates little power. A burning desire activates the subconscious mind and attracts the energetic equivalents necessary for manifestation. 3. Written declaration and daily reinforcement. How? Their definite purpose is not just in their head. It is written down, often recited daily and visualized with vivid detail. It becomes a constant, conscious imprint on their mind. Why it works: writing brings clarity and commitment. Daily repetition deeply engraves the purpose into the subconscious mind, turning it from a mere wish into an unshakable conviction. 4. A plan of action, even if imperfect. How? While the purpose is definite, the initial plan might be refined. But the top 1% always have a plan, however imperfect, and they begin immediately to put it into action. They understand that clarity of purpose guides the path, and action opens the doors. Why it works: a definite purpose without a plan remains a dream. Even a flawed plan, once set in motion, can be corrected and perfected through experience. Every individual who has risen to a position of extraordinary success possessed, as their very first act, a definiteness of purpose, so strong, so clear, that it became an irresistible force propelling them forward. They understood that without this clear destination, all energy is dissipated, all effort diffused. It is the very first secret to how the top 1% think differently. They decide, with absolute certainty, what they intend to achieve, and that unwavering decision then dictates their every subsequent thought and action. This is the non-negotiable starting point for commanding your destiny. You've established the bedrock of your success, a burning definiteness of purpose. But a blueprint, however precise, remains merely paper until it is brought to life. The force that ignites this blueprint, that transforms your specific desire into a living, moving reality, is unwavering faith. This is the second profound principle separating the top 1% from the rest. Many confuse faith with passive hope, wishful thinking, or a blind belief in something external. They hope for success, but they do not believe in it with the depth required to manifest it. This lukewarm conviction fails to activate the very forces necessary for achievement. I tell you, true faith is not a static state. It is an active, dynamic force. It is the chemist of the mind, taking the vague impulse of thought and transmuting it into its spiritual equivalent, ready for materialization. It is the absolute, unshakable conviction in the attainment of your definite chief aim, even when evidence to the contrary abounds. How do the top 1% cultivate and wield this potent power of faith? 1. Emotionalized belief. Their faith is deeply intertwined with intense emotion. They don't just intellectually believe they will succeed. They feel the success as if it has already happened. They experience the joy, the satisfaction, the relief of achievement in their present moment. Emotion is the driving force of the subconscious mind. Pure thought alone is relatively weak, but thought, fused with profound emotion, becomes a magnetic power, attracting its object. 2. Repetition of affirmation and visualization. They consistently impress upon their minds the mental picture of their definite chief aim already achieved. They use affirmations, mental movies, and vivid sensory details to make their desired reality feel as real as their current one. This is their daily mental diet. Constant repetition, especially with feeling, is how the subconscious mind accepts a thought as truth. Once the subconscious accepts it, it begins to work tirelessly to find ways to make that thought a reality. 3. Action despite doubt, the leap of faith. The top 1% don't wait for all doubt to vanish before taking action. They often take action in spite of doubt, knowing that action generates momentum and further strengthens faith. They understand that faith grows stronger through consistent application. Each step taken in faith, even a small one, provides a sliver of evidence that reinforces belief. This creates a virtuous cycle where action strengthens faith, which then fuels more action. 4. Selective association. They consciously surround themselves with individuals who believe in their purpose, who radiate positivity, and who have achieved similar feats. They limit exposure to cynicism, doubt, and negative influences. Beliefs are contagious. Associating with those who embody success and faith reinforces your own conviction, while negativity can subtly erode it. 5. Focus on past successes. When doubt creeps in, they consciously recall past instances where they overcame challenges, persevered, or achieved something others thought impossible. They draw strength from their own history of success. This builds self-efficacy. It reminds the conscious mind, and thereby influences the subconscious, that I have done hard things before, I can do this again. Every individual who has commanded an extraordinary destiny did so by first building an unshakable faith in themselves, and in the ultimate triumph of their definite purpose. This faith was not blind. It was informed by clarity, fueled by emotion, and solidified by consistent mental and physical effort. Faith, in this context, is not a mystical concept. It is a profound psychological and spiritual principle of self-mastery. It is the active ingredient that transforms a definite purpose from a mere aspiration into an irresistible force, powerfully attracting the means and methods of its realization. This is how the top 1% think differently. They believe with such intensity that their beliefs become their reality. You've now established your definite purpose and are fueling it with unwavering faith. But how do you consistently impress this powerful vision upon your mind, ensuring it permeates every fiber of your being, even beyond conscious thought? The answer lies in mastering the principle of autosuggestion. This is your inner GPS, the precise method by which the top 1% program their subconscious minds for automatic success. Many people allow their subconscious minds to be programmed by default, by negative news, by casual conversations filled with doubt, by past failures, or by the limiting beliefs of others. They wonder why they struggle to break old habits or why opportunities seem to pass them by. They are unknowingly using autosuggestion against themselves. I tell you, the subconscious mind is like fertile soil. It does not care whether the seeds planted are good or bad, productive or destructive. It merely takes whatever seeds are given to it, and by the law of its own nature, causes them to grow. Autosuggestion is the disciplined act of planting only the seeds of success and desire. Autosuggestion is the process of influencing your own thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors by repeating certain ideas or affirmations to yourself with emotion. It is the direct communication channel from your conscious desires to the limitless power of your subconscious mind. Here's how the top 1% consciously program their inner GPS for extraordinary achievement. 1. Emotionalized self-talk. How? They don't just mechanically repeat words. They infuse their affirmations with intense feeling and conviction, visualizing the desired outcome as if it has already occurred. For example, instead of just, I will be rich, it's, I feel the incredible joy of already having specific amount by date. Why it works. Emotion is the language of the subconscious mind. Dry words have little impact, but words charged with genuine feeling penetrate deep into the subconscious, which then works to make that emotionalized thought a reality. 2. Specific positive affirmations. How? Their autosuggestions are always definite, concise, and stated in the present tense, as if the desired reality already exists. They avoid negative phrasing, I will not be poor, and focus on the positive outcome. I am financially abundant. Why it works. The subconscious mind doesn't process negatives easily. Clear, positive, present tense statements are direct commands that it readily accepts and acts upon. 3. Consistent, dedicated practice. How? They engage in autosuggestion daily, often multiple times a day. Upon waking, before sleep, and during moments of focused concentration. Repetition is key to impressing the subconscious. Why it works. Just as physical muscles are built through consistent workouts, mental pathways are strengthened through consistent repetition. The more you repeat a thought with emotion, the more deeply ingrained it becomes in your subconscious. 4. Vivid mental imagery, visualization. How? They complement their verbal affirmations with detailed mental pictures. They see themselves living their definite purpose, experiencing the emotions, hearing the sounds, and feeling the sensations of their achieved goals. Why it works. The subconscious mind responds powerfully to imagery. When you create vivid mental blueprints, you provide it with clear instructions on what to manifest. 5. Removing negative influences. How? They rigorously guard their minds against negative self-talk, limiting beliefs from others, and discouraging external information that contradicts their definite purpose. Why it works. Just as you wouldn't plant good seeds in toxic soil, you cannot program your subconscious effectively if you continuously expose it to negative counter-suggestions. Every great achiever, whether consciously or unconsciously, mastered the art of autosuggestion. They understood that the thoughts they habitually entertained, especially when charged with emotion and repeated with conviction, ultimately became the blueprint for their reality. By mastering autosuggestion, you cease to be a passive recipient of circumstances and become an active programmer of your own destiny. You teach your inner GPS where you want to go, and your subconscious mind, working tirelessly, begins to navigate you toward that desired reality. This is how the top 1% don't just think differently. They program their minds to succeed differently. You have now learned how the top 1% define their purpose, infuse it with faith, and program their subconscious mind through autosuggestion. These are powerful internal forces, but even the most meticulously crafted blueprint and the most profound conviction remain inert without a crucial external manifestation. Decisive action. This is the undeniable hallmark of true leaders and high achievers, a principle that sharply differentiates the top 1% from the rest. Many individuals are trapped in the paralysis of indecision. They endlessly analyze, seek more information, consult countless opinions, and postpone action, hoping for a mythical perfect moment or absolute certainty. This hesitation is a silent killer of opportunity, robbing them of momentum and allowing valuable time to slip away. I tell you, the absence of decision is more destructive than a wrong decision. For a wrong decision, once made, provides feedback, initiates action, and can be corrected. Indecision, however, yields nothing but stagnation, missed opportunities, and the erosion of self-trust. 1. Promptness in making decisions. How? They gather the necessary facts relevant to the situation, weigh the probabilities, and then make a firm choice without undue delay. They recognize that overanalysis leads to paralysis. Why it works. Speed in decision-making indicates clarity of thought and confidence. It also prevents opportunities from passing by as the world moves fast. A quickly made decision, even if imperfect, allows for immediate action and learning. 2. Deliberation and changing decisions. How? Once a decision is made, they hold to it firmly unless new, substantial facts emerge that unequivocally prove it to be unsound. They do not waver at the first sign of difficulty or external criticism. Why it works. Constantly changing decisions undermines consistency, creates confusion for oneself and others, and prevents any single plan from gaining sufficient momentum to bear fruit. Firmness of decision builds persistence. 3. Trusting their intuition after analysis. How? While they value facts and logic, they also cultivate and trust their intuitive nudges, as discussed in the Whispers of Fortune concept. After rational analysis, They often allow their subconscious wisdom to guide their final firm decision. Why it works. Their subconscious mind, programmed with definite purpose and faith, often provides insights beyond pure logic, enabling them to make more accurate and powerful decisions. 4. Embracing imperfection in decision making. How? They understand that no decision is ever made with 100% certainty. They accept that some decisions might lead to temporary setbacks, but they view these as learning opportunities, not reasons for paralysis or regret. Why it works. This mindset liberates them from the fear of making a wrong decision, enabling them to take action and learn from the consequences, rather than being stuck in inaction. 5. Seeking counsel, not permission. How? While they are open to receiving advice and feedback, they ultimately make their own decisions. They filter external opinions through their definite purpose and their own judgment. Why it works. They maintain their autonomy and leadership. Seeking too many opinions often leads to confusion and indecision, as everyone has a different perspective. Every individual who has achieved significant wealth and influence has done so because they possess the courage to make a definite decision and the fortitude to stick by it until it manifested. Their power lay not in never being wrong, but in always moving forward. By cultivating the power of prompt and firm decision, you cease to be a passive recipient of circumstances and become an active architect of your own reality. You inject vitality into your definite purpose and faith, setting in motion the necessary actions to command your destiny. This is how the top 1% think differently. They decide, and then they act. You've mastered the art of defining your purpose, igniting it with faith, programming your subconscious, and making decisive actions. These are foundational. Yet even with these powerful principles in place, the journey to extraordinary success is rarely a straight line. There will be obstacles. There will be temporary defeat. There will be moments when doubt whispers and the urge to quit screams. This is precisely where the principle of persistence becomes the ultimate differentiator, the unyielding force that distinguishes the top 1% from the rest. Many individuals, when confronted by the first sign of difficulty, discouragement, or criticism, abandon their definite purpose. They mistake temporary setbacks for permanent failure. Their initial enthusiasm wanes, and they surrender, believing the goal was too hard or simply not meant to be. This lack of persistence is the graveyard of countless dreams and brilliant ideas. I tell you, no great achievement in history was ever born without facing and overcoming tremendous opposition. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is rarely talent, but almost always a profound, unwavering commitment to keep going, no matter what. Persistence is not mere stubbornness. It is the sustained, systematic effort to carry your definite chief aim to its successful conclusion, despite challenges, delays, and temporary defeats. It is the direct product of a burning desire and an unshakable faith. Here's how the top 1% cultivate and wield this unyielding force. 1. A definite purpose as the bedrock, revisited. Their persistence is directly tied to the clarity and emotional intensity of their definite chief aim. They constantly remind themselves why they started. When the how becomes difficult, a powerful why provides the sustained fuel to continue. A vague goal offers little anchor for persistence. 2. The failure is feedback mindset. They do not view temporary defeats as true failures, but as valuable lessons, necessary feedback, or detours that refine their path. Each setback is an opportunity to learn, adjust, and find a better way. This reframes adversity. It allows them to extract wisdom from challenges, preventing discouragement from leading to surrender. 3. The mastermind group, revisited for support. When their own persistence wanes, they lean on their mastermind alliance. The collective energy, encouragement, and problem-solving capabilities of their trusted advisors help them push through. Shared purpose and mutual support provide an external source of strength when individual resolve is tested. It's harder to quit when you've committed to others. 4. Conscious overcoming of negative influences. They actively protect their minds from negative self-talk, the discouraging opinions of cynics, and the temptation to focus on what's going wrong. They maintain a positive mental attitude, especially during adversity. Persistence requires a mind focused on solutions and possibilities, not problems and limitations. Guarding your thoughts is crucial for maintaining forward momentum. 5. The one more step philosophy. When the urge to quit is overwhelming, they commit to just one more step, one more phone call, one more hour of work, one more attempt. This breaks down the enormity of the challenge into a manageable increment. This simple tactic bypasses mental resistance. Often, that one more step creates momentum that leads to many more, ultimately overcoming the temporary desire to surrender. 6. Belief in an infinite intelligence. Cosmic Habitforce link. Many top achievers possess an underlying faith that a benevolent force, or infinite intelligence, which we will discuss further, is guiding and supporting their efforts, provided they remain persistent. This spiritual perspective provides a powerful sense of assurance and purpose, enabling them to persevere through seemingly insurmountable odds, knowing that unseen forces are conspiring on their behalf. Every individual who has etched their name into the annals of success did so not because they never fell, but because they always got back up. Their persistence was an unyielding force that crushed opposition and commanded destiny. By cultivating persistence, you build a mental and spiritual fortitude that is impervious to temporary defeat. You transform setbacks into springboards and the urge to quit into a deeper resolve. This is how the top 1% think differently. They simply refuse to be beaten, and by that refusal, they ensure their ultimate triumph. You've harnessed the visible forces of purpose, faith, decision, and persistence. Now, we delve into one of the most profound, yet often misunderstood, allies available to the top 1%, the limitless power of your subconscious mind. This is your hidden genius, working ceaselessly beneath the surface of your conscious thoughts, diligently bringing your dominant mental patterns into physical reality. Most people are unaware of the immense power residing within their own subconscious. They allow it to be programmed by random external inputs, fear, doubt, negative news, the limiting beliefs of others, and then wonder why their efforts feel like an uphill battle. They fail to consciously direct this powerful ally, leaving their destiny to chance rather than to deliberate design. I tell you, your subconscious mind is a fertile garden. It does not discriminate between good seeds and bad seeds. Whatever you consistently plant, be it thoughts of wealth or poverty, success or failure, health or sickness, it will diligently cultivate and bring to fruition in your experience. The top 1% understand that conscious thought, while important, is only the tip of the iceberg. True mastery comes from influencing and directing the vast, unseen power of the subconscious, transforming it into an automatic engine for their definite chief aim. Here is how the top 1% unlock and leverage their subconscious mind. 1. Conscious implantation through autosuggestion, revisited. As we discussed in Section 3, they are deliberate and consistent in feeding their subconscious mind with clear, emotionalized commands through autosuggestion, affirmations, and vivid visualization of their desired outcomes. This is the direct communication channel. The subconscious absorbs these impressions and begins to reorganize thoughts, actions, and even external circumstances to match the dominant mental picture. 2. The feeling is the secret, emotion as the key. They understand that merely thinking a thought is not enough. The thought must be fused with strong emotion, faith, desire, joy, anticipation, to register powerfully with the subconscious. The subconscious mind responds more to feeling than to logic. It acts upon the emotionalized thoughts, translating those deeply felt convictions into reality. 3. Harnessing the power of sleep in quiet time. They often engage in visualization or affirmation just before sleep and immediately upon waking, when the conscious mind's filters are relaxed and the subconscious is most receptive. They also utilize meditation or quiet reflection to access deeper levels of thought. These are prime times for direct programming. The subconscious continues to work on the last dominant thought impressed upon it, even during sleep. 4. Problem solving from within. When faced with a challenge, they consciously turn it over to their subconscious mind, trusting that solutions will emerge. They ask clear questions before sleep or during quiet contemplation, believing the answers will be revealed through intuition, sudden insights, or relevant information appearing in their lives. The subconscious mind has access to a vast network of information and creativity, far beyond the conscious mind. It works tirelessly to solve problems when given a clear directive. 5. Cultivating a positive mental attitude, protective barrier. They diligently guard their minds from negative thoughts, fear, and doubt, knowing that the subconscious will manifest whatever dominant thoughts it receives, positive or negative. A positive mental attitude creates an environment conducive to the subconscious working for, rather than against, your definite purpose. It ensures only beneficial seeds are planted. The top 1% understand that their subconscious mind is not merely a passive repository of memories, but an active, creative force. By consciously directing it, they transform it into their most powerful, relentless ally in the pursuit of their goals. By mastering the art of unlocking and directing your subconscious mind, you tap into an infinite source of power, creativity, and problem-solving ability. You cease to rely solely on conscious effort and begin to leverage a hidden ally that tirelessly works to manifest your definite chief aim, making your success feel less like a struggle and more like an inevitable unfolding. This is how the top 1% don't just think differently. They access and command a deeper intelligence within. You've harnessed the power of your own mind, both conscious and subconscious, through definite purpose, faith, decision, persistence, and autosuggestion. These principles, when applied diligently, are extraordinarily potent. However, the top 1% understand that true, accelerated, and unprecedented achievement rarely occurs in isolation. They leverage a principle that amplifies their power, knowledge, and influence exponentially: the mastermind principle. Many individuals operate as lone wolves, believing they must achieve success entirely on their own. They fear competition, guard their ideas, and are reluctant to seek genuine collaboration or advice, often due to ego or a lack of understanding of this profound universal law. This solitary approach severely limits their reach, their problem-solving capacity, and their potential for monumental success. I tell you, when two or more minds come together in a spirit of perfect harmony toward a definite purpose, something extraordinary happens. A third, invisible, intangible force, a mastermind, is created, which is greater than the sum of its individual parts. This is how the truly great multiply their intelligence and power. The mastermind principle is the coordination of knowledge and effort between two or more people who work in a spirit of perfect harmony for the attainment of a definite purpose. It is the secret behind virtually every significant invention, major company, and large-scale movement in history. Here's how the top 1% form and leverage mastermind alliances. 1. Selection based on complementary strengths and shared purpose. How? They carefully choose individuals who possess knowledge, skills, and connections that complement their own, and who share a genuine, burning desire for the same definite purpose. It's not about surrounding themselves with yes men, but with diverse, powerful minds. Why it works? A mastermind group fills knowledge gaps, provides different perspectives, and brings varied expertise to bear on a common objective: accelerating progress. 2. Spirit of perfect harmony. How? This is non-negotiable. Members must operate with mutual respect, trust, and a genuine desire for the collective success. Ego, jealousy, and self-serving agendas are detrimental and will dissolve the mastermind. Why it works? Harmony creates a synergistic energy where ideas flow freely, creativity is amplified, and collective problem-solving reaches new heights, truly forming that third mind. 3. Regular, focused meetings interactions. How? They establish consistent communication, whether through weekly meetings, daily check-ins, or regular strategic sessions. These interactions are focused on the definite purpose, problem-solving, and mutual support. Why it works? Consistent interaction keeps the purpose alive, fosters ongoing collaboration, and ensures the mastermind energy is continuously generated and directed. 4. Mutual benefit and reciprocity. How? Every member of a successful mastermind group brings value and expects to receive value. There is a clear understanding of what each person contributes and gains from the alliance. Why it works? True partnerships are built on reciprocity. This ensures long-term commitment and prevents any single member from feeling exploited or undervalued. 5. Collective problem-solving and idea generation. How? When confronted with obstacles or seeking new opportunities, the mastermind group collectively brainstorms, analyzes, and strategizes. The diverse perspectives often lead to breakthrough solutions. Why it works? The collective intelligence of a harmonious mastermind is far greater than the sum of its individual parts, allowing for solutions and innovations that no single mind could conceive alone. No individual achieves great success without the cooperation of others. The top 1% understand that genuine power comes not from accumulating individual strength, but from strategically aligning with other powerful minds to create a force infinitely greater than any one person could wield alone. By consciously forming and nurturing a mastermind alliance, you amplify your intelligence, multiply your resources, and accelerate your progress toward your definite chief aim. This is how the top 1% don't just think differently. They collaborate differently, leveraging collective genius to command their destiny. You built your inner world with purpose, faith, and a powerful subconscious. You've amplified your reach through the master mind. Now, we arrive at a principle that, while often subtle, is undeniably at play in the lives of the top 1%. Cosmic habit force. This is the universal tendency for consistent thoughts and actions to manifest into physical reality, as if the very universe conspires to deliver what you have already become. Many people view success as a random lottery or a battle against an indifferent world. They believe circumstances are purely external and unpredictable, often feeling like victims of fate. This perspective ignores a profound truth. The universe, in its wisdom, operates on principles of consistency and harmony, mirroring back the dominant patterns you establish within yourself. I tell you, the universe is not indifferent. It is an intricate, responsive mechanism, and through the immutable law of cosmic habit force, it is perpetually organizing itself to align with the habits, thoughts, and definite purposes that you consistently hold and act upon. Cosmic habit force is not some mystical, passive force. It is the active principle by which sustained, definite thought, combined with unwavering faith and persistent action, sets in motion an alignment of circumstances, people, and opportunities. It's the unseen hand that seems to open doors or bring lucky breaks to those who are in persistent pursuit of a definite objective. It is the universe responding to your established mental and physical habits. Here's how the top 1% intuitively understand and leverage cosmic habit force. 1. Alignment with definite purpose. How? Their burning definite chief aim acts as a powerful beacon. They trust that by holding this purpose with unwavering faith and consistent action, the universe will align to support its realization. Why it works? A clear, consistent signal, your definite purpose, is easier for cosmic habit force to respond to. Ambiguity creates static. 2. Living as if belief in advance. How? They habitually think, speak, and act as if their definite chief aim is already a reality. They embody the person they need to become to achieve their goals, long before the physical manifestation. Why it works? This mental and emotional pre-paving sends a powerful signal to cosmic habit force. It creates a vibrational match with the desired outcome, compelling the universe to conform to the habit of your future reality. 3. Recognizing and acting on synchronicity. How? They are acutely aware of meaningful coincidences, unexpected encounters, or sudden insights that appear to guide them towards their purpose. They see these as whispers from cosmic habit force and act upon them decisively. Why it works? Cosmic habit force often operates through synchronistic events, bringing the right people, opportunities, or ideas into your path at precisely the right moment. The top 1% are attuned to these signals and have the courage to act. 4. Maintaining a positive mental attitude, the receptive state. How? They cultivate a mindset of expectation and gratitude, knowing that negativity and doubt create resistance to the flow of cosmic habit force. They operate from a place of abundance, not lack. Why it works? A positive, receptive mental attitude acts like an open channel for universal forces to work through. Fear and scarcity close that channel. 5. Unwavering persistence despite apparent setbacks. How? Even when faced with temporary defeat, they maintain their inner conviction, knowing that cosmic habit force might be redirecting them or strengthening them for a greater outcome. They trust the process. Why it works? True persistence demonstrates unwavering faith in their definite purpose, signaling to the universe their absolute commitment, thereby activating deeper levels of cosmic support. The greatest achievements are not merely the result of individual effort, but the culmination of human will aligning with the benevolent forces of the universe. The top 1% do not just work hard, they learn to harmonize with the very fabric of reality. By understanding and aligning yourself with cosmic habit force, you cease to wrestle with life and begin to flow with its powerful current. You actively participate in a grand cosmic design that supports your consistent, purposeful creation. This is how the top 1% don't just think differently or act differently. They co-create differently, leveraging the universe itself to command their destiny. We have now journeyed through the 9 foundational principles that illuminate the true secret behind the top 1% extraordinary success. You've seen that it's not simply about luck or talent, but a profound and deliberate way of thinking and operating. We've uncovered Definiteness of purpose, the absolute non-negotiable starting point, a laser focus on what you truly desire. Faith, the emotionalized belief that transforms thought into action and attracts its physical equivalent. Autosuggestion, the precise method for programming your subconscious mind to work tirelessly on your behalf. Decision, the hallmark of true leaders, making swift, firm choices and rarely wavering. Persistence, the unyielding force that crushes opposition and ensures you never quit until your goal is achieved. The subconscious mind, your hidden ally, ceaselessly working to bring your dominant thoughts into reality. The master mind, the exponential power generated when two or more minds unite in perfect harmony towards a definite purpose. Cosmic habit force, the universal law that compels circumstances, people, and opportunities to align with your consistent thoughts and actions. I tell you, these principles are not theories. They are timeless, immutable laws of achievement, proven by every individual who has ever risen to the pinnacle of success in any field. They are the blueprint for transforming your thinking, attracting opportunity, and actively commanding your destiny. The top 1% don't just achieve great things. They think differently. They understand that their external world is a direct reflection of their internal world. They don't wait for success to happen to them. They consciously create the mental conditions and take the consistent actions that compel success to appear. This is the crucial challenge, an invitation I extend to you now. You possess the same mental faculties as every individual who has ever achieved greatness. You have the power to choose your definite purpose. Cultivate your faith. Program your subconscious, make firm decisions, persist through adversity, align with masterminds, and harmonize with cosmic habit force. Your potential is limited only by your thoughts and your willingness to act. The future you desire is not something that happens to you. It is something you consciously, meticulously, and persistently create through the application of these universal laws. Stop wondering and start doing. Stop being a passive observer and become the active architect of your life. Which of these powerful principles resonates most deeply with you right now? Which one will you commit to applying, starting today? Remember, your success begins the moment you decide to act.